morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and today's shout out goes to Gene Fox, Green Mountain Droning. Gene was first to say first in one of my original videos, and thus wins this shout out, so congratulations. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, with a review of another neat new airplane, folks. This is the new Volantex F4U Corsair version 2. Okay, now I just recently did a review a couple weeks ago of the P51D version 2, which is similar to what Volantex has done. And we'll see. Notice this nice cockpit here, folks, with the pilot inside with a clear canopy. But let's talk about the F4U 2. Similarly, they did the same thing. Okay, in the original F4U that Volantex put out, this canopy was just foam. Okay, they just had a foam painted canopy on here. Now they actually have a little pilot inside there, folks. Let's see if we can get it close up so you can see the little pilot inside there flying the F4U. Ain't that cool? It's just a little cutout, though, folks. You know, it's not a full feature pilot, but you know, it has both sides of them there, so you can see them in there flying it. So let's talk about this F4U. Very good looking aircraft, as you can see here. Nice paint scheme. They got it set up in the, these are the Jolly Rogers from World War II, VF-17 Jolly Rogers that would fly off of islands in the South Pacific, folks. Pretty interesting history on that, on this particular squadron, but I'm not going to go into that. We're just going to talk about the aircraft here, folks. Now, it's ready to fly. What does that mean? It comes with everything you need to fly it. It comes with the aircraft. It comes with a transmitter already bound to the aircraft, ready to go. Comes with all the batteries that you need to fly it, with the exception of WWII batteries. This transmitter requires 4 WWII batteries to operate. You're going to have to provide that. That's the only thing you provide. Now, this is a true 4-channel aircraft. What does that mean? That means we have throttle control of the propeller. We have control of the ailerons. We have control of the aircraft's elevator. And we have control of the rudder. So true 4-channel aircraft. That allows us to do rolls and loops and all kinds of other things if you are good enough to go into expert mode, folks. But this also does stunts too automatically. I'll talk about that here shortly and also demonstrate it when we get out in the field. Now, this is constructed of crash-resistant EPP foam. Okay, so this should take a beating and still be able to fly. Now, the problem is, folks, don't go flying over asphalt or a parking lot, you know, asphalt or concrete. You know, crashing this foam aircraft into concrete, it will break. So I recommend, if you go flying, always look for a nice grassy field to fly these aircraft in. You'll thank yourself because everybody crashes, including me. So, and if you want to keep flying your aircraft, crash in a grassy field and you'll be able to keep on flying. So keep that in mind. Now, this is powered by a brush motor. It does have a brush motor inside. You can actually change that brush motor if it does fail by lifting up this panel here, and that gives you access to the motor. But it is a 1020 brush motor. That's a big motor, folks. That gives this aircraft plenty of power, and it should last quite a while, to tell you the truth, because, you know, if you fly this and give yourself like at least 15 minutes of rest time between flights, that allows that motor to cool down, and it should last quite a long time if you're careful with it, okay? If you're gentle with it, is what I'm trying to say. Now, this comes with multi-bladed propellers. You get 3-bladed propellers. You know, I have one installed here for looks. And it also comes with these 2-bladed propellers. Now, these 2-bladed propellers I found out the hard way by flying this P51D. This one comes with 4-bladed propellers and 2-bladed. The 2-bladed propellers tend to give you plenty of power, folks. So when you're flying, you probably want to use the 2-bladed propeller. And when you're displaying the aircraft, you can put it on the 3-bladed. But when we go out in the field, I'm going to fly it first with the 3-bladed and see how it works. And if I don't like how it flies, I'm going to switch to this 2-bladed. In fact, I am going to switch to this 2-bladed, just so we can compare the performance with the 3-bladed versus the 2-bladed propeller. Now, this is flyable with 3 selectable flight modes through the controller. We got beginner mode, which is entirely stabilized flight, okay? That prevents the aircraft from tipping over. There's angle restrictions that prevent it from tipping over in pitch or tipping over in roll. If you get into a problem, if you're flying the aircraft, you get into a problem, you let go of the sticks, and the aircraft will automatically right itself using its gyro stabilization system to help you prevent a crash. There's also a mid position on this controller. and we'll talk about these switches here shortly, that turns off angle restrictions for doing loops, okay? So there's no pitch angle restrictions. So you'll be able to actually do loops with, manual loops using the controller. However, there's still some angle restrictions in terms of bank angle, so you can't do manual rolls in the mid position, but you can use the stunt button. And I'll talk about that stunt button when we get to the controller to do rolls. So this will automatically do loops and rolls with that stunt button. We'll talk about that shortly. Actually, let's go into it. Let's go into the controller, talking about the controller. It is, again, 4-channel. We got throttle, we got yaw, we got pitch, and we got roll. It only comes in mode 2, I believe, folks. So if you're looking for mode 1 controller, unfortunately, this is not available with this particular controller. However, this airplane can also be flown using multi-protocol transmitters. So if you got a mode 1 set up on your jumper, you can use that to fly in mode 1. And this uses what's called V761 protocol. It's available on the jumpers. I've demonstrated already I demonstrate it every time I fly one of these Warbirds. They're all flyable using that V761 protocol. So we're going to demonstrate that when we go out in the field. I'm going to fly it also with the jumper to show you that it can be done. But going back to the original controller on this, let's talk about its buttons. I talked about throttle, yaw, pitch, roll. We got trim. We can set one key return. This does have one key return capability. Before you take off, you put the aircraft in. Before you arm the motors, you press up on this button. Actually, I think you pull down on this button here, and that sets the direction for one key return as the opposite direction that it's pointed. And when you go out flying in that direction, you want the aircraft to turn around and come back the opposite direction, you push up on this button and it will do so automatically. Now, that is not a true return to home. This does not have a GPS. This could actually fly away from you with that one key return, so I don't recommend that you rely on one key return to bring the aircraft home, because it just isn't meant to do that. Okay. Other things about this controller, we talked about the different flight modes, and that's through this switch here. All the way forward puts it in expert flight mode. Again, that turns off all stabilization systems, all angle restrictions, and it's full manual flight. It's kind of difficult to do with these Warbirds. These Warbirds are kind of twitchy, so you got to be a good pilot to do that. But it is possible to do such with this controller. I recommend, though, if you fly expert mode, probably you want to use one of these here to give you more smooth control of the aircraft, because the gimbals on this particular controller are a little bit twitchy as compared to this, and we'll talk about that again when we go flying out in the field. Other position on this, if you set it to center position, that's the mid position, and that again turns off angle restrictions for pitch, although it's still stabilized and still has roll angle restrictions. It gives you the ability to do some loops manually with this controller. And again, all the way forward is beginner position. That's full stabilization, full angle restrictions in both roll and pitch. It won't let you flip over. And if you do get in an extreme situation, such as heading straight to the ground, just let go of this right stick, and this aircraft will immediately, almost immediately, it does it real fast, folks, come back to level flight position automatically, and then you can take over again and save yourself from crashing into the ground. So, yeah, if you're in, again, if you're practicing with an expert and you get into trouble, just flip it back like that, and the aircraft will right itself. So, other button on this is your stunt button. Okay, it has two features. What it can do a automatic takeoff, actually, if you press this button here before takeoff. You don't touch this right stick. You press this button on the ground, and I'll show you how. Let's pretend we're connected to the aircraft. You press this button, you'll start hearing beeping. You hold up the aircraft, give it some throttle, and throw it, and the aircraft, and not touch this right stick, leave that right stick alone. The aircraft will automatically climb and then start circling the area until you take over. You're ready to take over, and you do such by moving this stick, and then that turns off the automatic takeoff and automatic circling and gives you full control of the aircraft again by just moving this stick here. So that's its automatic takeoff feature. Now, once you're in the air, you can do stunts with the aircraft while you're flying by pressing this button again, and then either moving the stick right or left, and the aircraft will do a roll automatically. and pressing the stick again, just doing a quick pullback on the stick, and the aircraft will do an automatic loop. So that's pretty fun to do with this particular controller. So that's the main things about the controller. One other thing about this controller that the F4U V2 and also the P51D V2 controllers have is now they have telemetry. Okay, that'll tell you when your aircraft is flying too far away the controller, when the signal starts getting weak. This will start beeping 4 beeps in a row. That says turn that aircraft around and start bringing it back because you're flying too far away if you're hearing 4 beeps. And it also has telemetry warning you when the battery's getting low. It'll start beeping twice. You'll hear 2 beeps, beep, beep. That means bring the aircraft home and land it. The battery's getting weak, okay, if you want to protect that battery. So it now has telemetry in the controller. That's pretty cool too. So, and I finally mentioned that, yes, you can fly this with a multi-protocol transmitter, again, using V761 protocol that we'll demonstrate when we take it out into the field. So that is the new F4U V2. Very pretty aircraft, nicely done. I hope it flies as well as it looks. So let's take it out into the field, folks, and see how it can fly, or see how it can fly. Hope you enjoy this flight. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and welcome to Pleasant Ridge Park here in Girard, PA, for the inaugural flight of the F4U V2. Okay, I already have this bound up to the transmitter, and right now I'm in beginner's mode. As you can see that the, notice how the ailerons work on this in stabilization mode. See, if it tilts to the left, the ailerons try to make it tilt back to the right, tilt to the right, back to the left. If it tilts down, the elevator points up, tilts up, the elevator points down. So that's the automatic stabilization system working. Okay, I already have this bound to the aircraft. We're going to try that automatic takeoff before we, for this first flight. And to do that, I press this button here, then give it some throttle, and toss it in the air. And I'm not doing anything, folks. Let me cut back, except cutting back on the throttle. And there it goes in its auto rotate mode here. And it's going to keep doing that until I give it some throttle or give it some right and left. And I'm going to do that right about now. And now I'm taking control of it. So that's the auto takeoff in this. It works pretty cool, actually. Now, I only got the 3-bladed prop on there. And again, I'm feeling some, you know, it's kind of a slow ride here. Let's go into mid mode. Coming to the left. Let's try doing a loop in mid mode. Oh, it does it. Okay, that 3-bladed prop ain't too bad. Bet you the 2-bladed gives me a lot more power. I'll try that later though. I got 2 batteries here today, folks. But let's fly it around. Now, it is a kind of a breezy day today, folks. Kind of breezy, very breezy. See it bouncing around? But it's flying very well, even in the breeze. Let's try that again, up and over. And coming around, come toward me, and go up and over. So, neat airplane, folks. This is the F4U 2 version, V2 version. Let's try to keep it closer. Now, I can feel the gimbals on this. Ooh, look at that climb. Neat airplane. Let's go into the 2-bladed prop. You know, this is flying well with the 3-bladed, but I sense this could use a little bit more power. So what we're going to do, folks, is bring it in. Bring it over toward me first. Kaboom. And there goes its prop. So, and that is beneficial to us because we're going to switch to the 2-bladed prop. And I'll show you how to do that, folks. I'm going to go into my magic bag here of my drone bag, find a 2-bladed prop. There we go. Okay. So all I need to do to put this on is go like this. Put it in there. Now we're 2-bladed. Let's see if I can still do an automatic takeoff. I'm not sure if you can do that again after taking off, taking to the air, but let's try it. The wind's blowing that way. Throttling up. Yeah. Will it turn? Nope. It's not turning. Oh, it doesn't like that 2-bladed prop. Huh. Let's try that again. That 3-bladed prop seemed to be better than the 2-bladed. But going over here. Let's see why. Where is that 2-bladed prop? Did I lose it? I think I might have lost it, folks. I got another one, but we're going to switch to the 3-bladed. The 3-bladed seemed to actually work better. Oh, there it is. Let's put it back on and give it another shot and see. Actually, this one here has some stickiness on it. Let's see if I got a better 2-bladed than this. Hold on. Okay, I found another 1 or 2-bladed prop. The other one had some gunk on it. It was kind of sticky. So I'm not sure that that one was working properly. Again, we got wind blowing today, quite a bit of wind. I'm in mid position. Let's try it. And this time I'm going to do a regular takeoff. There we go. This is flying in the wind. And that 2-bladed prop, I don't know. The 3-bladed seemed to be better. I'm going back to the 3-bladed actually. This 2-bladed I'm not so sure about. And it could be the wind. The wind is pummeling it right now. Quite a bit of wind today. Yeah, no, I'm going back to the 3-bladed. That seemed to be more stable. So bringing it back in, the 3-bladed seemed to work better. I'm not sure why. But let's swap back to the 3-bladed. I didn't like that. It seemed to twitch a bit with the 2-bladed. So going back to the 3-bladed. 3-bladed back on again. Getting the hole. So there we go. 3-bladed back attached. So let's take the air again. Yeah, it's the wind is pummeling it quite a bit. But let's go and try some of these auto stunts. There goes a roll right overhead. Coming the other way. Auto. No, didn't want to do it. Auto roll. Nope, doesn't want to do it in the wind. I don't know why. But yeah, that wind is pummeling it. It's really heavy wind today, folks. But it's still flying in it. I'm guessing it's about close to 10 mile per hour wind. I'm in mid mode. Trying to keep it in the air. Let's go back to beginner mode and see if it flies better in this wind. Because it is windy. Yeah, more smooth in beginner mode. But I can't do stunts in beginner mode unless they're automatic stunts. But there we go. It's flying much smoother now in beginner mode than mid mode in this wind. There, automatic loop. Did it. So this is actually a nice plane. I really want to try it though with my flying it with my jumper here shortly. We'll give that a shot. I'm going to try to bring it in close too, by the way. The wind's at my back. Going around in that wind. Notice how that wind bobs it around. So yeah, you know, these auto-stabilized planes don't seem to care much about wind, but they'll fly in these winds. But they get buffeted quite a bit, as you can see there. Quite a bit of buffeting in this wind. Going around and around. You know, I'd be waiting for a nice day, but it could be a week or two away. I wanted to get this review out. So we're going to fly on a breezy day. So let's see if we can do another stunt. Auto roll? No. How about going downwind? We'll do it then. Roll. No, I guess the battery might be getting low or something there. Doesn't want to do loops or rolls. How about if I go sideways to the wind? This way. There we go. We go sideways to the wind. It does it. Didn't do the loop that time. Sometimes it'll do a loop, sometimes it won't. There we go. Did the loop automatically. Going back to mid mode so I can do some manual loops like that. Mid mode's the way to fly these things, these Warbirds. Even if you're a skilled pilot. Oh, he's up there. Come back down. Come back. Okay, I'm going to glide it now. Let's see this thing glide. Throttle's all the way down. Oh, there we go. It's almost stalled. Better bring it back toward me. And
and you can't see it from over there, folks. I was losing sight of it myself. So those of you that want to fly like hundreds of meters away, you're not going to be able to see this thing way out there, folks. It's just too tiny. As we're getting closer, too tiny to be flying hundreds of meters away, you know, using ELRS. Why? Why would you do that? You don't need to. The only way, maybe if you put an FPV camera on it and you're going to fly a long distance with an FPV. Since this can fly 15 minutes, close to 15 minutes. Whoa. Close to 15 minutes. Boy, that wind's buffing it. Loop it. Let's see if we can do a barrel roll. Whoa. Almost hit the ground, almost. Did that a little too low. Up, and letting go. Here, let's try these automatic stabilization. See? Go crazy with it, let go, and it levels out. Go crazy, and it's heading to the ground and level out. So that's the auto stabilization system, folks. You just let go, and everything's fine. Then you just got to steer it back toward you. Okay, we're in some beeps. Those were 4 beeps. We were hitting the RSSI there. That's a relative signal strength indicator. So there we had some weak signal there for a second. I don't know if that's because the battery's getting weak on the airplane or what, but we did have a second there where it said, whoop. No, that battery's not weak yet. Can still do a loop. So I don't know what that was. So nice flying plane. Again, I'm going to shortly hook this up to the jumper and see how it flies with the jumper. Whoa, that wind is buffeting it. Coming around. So the V2 version of the F4U, not a bad airplane at all. And it's seems to fly better with the 3-bladed as compared to like the P-51, which flies better with the 2-bladed. I don't know why. Have no idea, but this 3-bladed prop seems to have more power than the 2-bladed. Fun airplane. All these Warbirds are fun airplanes. Okay, I'm giving more and more throttle. I'm expecting soon to hear the beep, 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 beep. I'm almost at full throttle now, folks. Oh, okay. I was at full throttle, but I wasn't getting any beeps. And then I lost power. So the low battery indicator, I'm not sure it's working. Let's see if we got any more power, if I can still got the prop there. It didn't break. But I was almost giving it a full throttle there at the end. And I still haven't heard the beep, beep, beep of the low battery indicator. The beep, beep, actually. So let's see if we do have any more power left. That one is picking up too. Send this Jolly Roger back into the air one more time. No, don't have the power right now. So maybe we need, let me give it one more shot. Pull back on the stick when I toss it. Hold on. That wind. Woo. Yeah, I'm almost at full throttle here, folks. I'm calling it quits right there. I don't have the power right now. So we'll switch batteries and give it a second shot with a new battery. And this time, ooh, and there I broke the propeller that time, folks. Good things we got spares. So hold on while we switch batteries and switch using the jumper for the second part of this flight. So hold on, folks. Okay, I have it hooked up to the jumper. Let's get it in the air, folks. Give it some throttle. And I'm in beginner mode right now. Let's see how it flies in this wind in beginner mode. Oh man, that wind is buffeting it. But it's flying, as you can see, with the jumper. Let's give it some altitude. Get it up a bit higher, because I want to try something here, folks. Whoa. Going to mid position. There. I owe this to Oz Tree Crasher out there. This is a shot at Oz. But thank you for giving me the setup for this jumper so that I can switch the modes to mid position and expert. I'm not going to fly expert with this today, especially today, but it's working and I'm able to do, well, semi loops. So there we go. Boy, windy day, folks. Windy, but it's flying with this, with the jumper. I like to fly with the jumper because it gives me smoother control, in my opinion. Smoother control than compared to the stock controller that comes with this. There we go. I can do loops and rolls. Let's do another loop for you. Up and over. So I'm staying up high though, folks. The reason being the wind. It's buffeting it. If I come down too low, well, let's try it. Up and over. Let's try a barrel roll. Coming in, and diagonal up and over. Should gave it some rudder too there, but not a bad plane. And yeah, I like flying these with the jumpers. The jumpers. Whoa. That's that stabilization system. It came into play there. Neat airplane, huh? And I'm flying with the 3-bladed again. 3-bladed seems to work on this one better. Wonder why, you know. The 4-bladed on the P51V V2 doesn't work very well, but the 3-bladed on the F4U works better than the 2-bladed. Oh man, that wind's picking up again. Buffeting this little airplane. Oh, come around. Let's come a little lower now. Let's see if I can fly it low in this wind. But actually, let's go back to beginner. I can't remember which way was beginner. I think it was all the way forward. Yeah, back to beginner. Again, thanks, Oz, for letting me know about the switch positions. I'd been looking for that for a long time. I guess I never found it. It was probably buried in all his pages on the P51D RC Group's post in many pages. But I caught Oz's post there and was able to finally program this thing properly. Back to mid position. Up and over. So yeah, flying nicely with the jumper. Now a lot of you folks got these TX16s flying this tiny little plane with that, but that's okay, I guess. I like the little transmitters better. They're more comfortable with my hand, little game controller style. Because look how easy it is to fly this thing though, folks. Let's turn. Gotta pull up a little, come back. There we go. Let's try with just rudder turns. Ain't gonna happen today. I need both of my hands on the sticks. Both of my fingers on the sticks today. Coming toward me, into the wind. Look at that wind bounce, that thing. Whoa. And notice, folks, you're not hearing wind noises anymore on my camera. Those of you who've been with me for a while know that was a problem with my old camera. But my new camera, I finally got a wind, actually a real microphone with it and a windsock over it, so it doesn't hear the wind noises as much as it did before. Coming around me. Neat little airplane, F4U. We're just going to fly till the battery's dead. So this is going to be an extra long flight for you guys, so you can see this thing flying on a windy day. Neat airplane. But again, those of you who wonder which one of these is my favorite that they put out, it's still the Spitfire. Still the Spitfire seems to fly the best of the bunch of the Warbirds, in my opinion. Other folks might disagree, but well, let's see how long this will fly. Now, I'm not going to get any beep, beep, beep warning, and I did not get a beep, beep warning for the low battery on that last flight. I'm kind of interested why. Not sure. It worked on my P51D V2. I got the low battery warning, but that one did not give it to me. So I'm just flying until it starts to get sluggish on the sticks or on the throttle. Yep. Doesn't want to do that loop. Oh, wait a minute. I got this set up for stunts. If I can remember which button it was, it's this one here. Didn't do it. Let's try the other way. Let's try the other way. Oh! I put it to expert mode by accident, folks. Oh, I should have done that. I hope that propeller is still fine, but I was an expert by accident. Getting confused with switch positions on my controller versus the other one. But let's go over, take a look, see if our propeller is still in one piece. Hopefully it is. And if so, we'll get right back into the air. So let's find out. The propeller came off as designed. Let's see if we can find the propeller. There it is. And it's still in one piece, thank goodness. So hooking it back up again, plugging it back in, pushed it back in. We're good to go for another run. Okay, all the way forward from my switch positions on this. That wind's picking up. We're in beginner mode right now. So I expect gentle flying with this thing. Let's just do some gentle flying with it for the remainder of the flight in this wind. I'm going to just hover in that wind. Now let's come downwind and pick up some speed. Zoom. Then coming back into the wind. Come back down here. It's trying, but it's just hovering there. Hovering, hovering. Coming in for a carrier landing. Now, the way I understand it, these F4Us weren't cleared for carrier landings during World War II. That's why they were flying off of islands. Interesting. But, okay, going back to mid position. See if we can do any more stunts. Get some power, get some speed. And no, it doesn't have the oomph anymore, so our battery's getting low. I'm going back to beginner. And that wind is picking up. And I'm giving it more and more throttle here, folks. So, yeah, our battery's probably getting low now. Just trying to show it to you up close here on this breezy day. Whoa, 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 whoa. What happened there? Whoa. So I think our battery just died. It went into the ground. So that's the flight time, folks. I was giving more and more throttle, and then it just went. So yeah, that battery just went kaput. So that's the flight time you get out of this thing. So let's go down and find that propeller. I hope it's still there in one piece, because that's my last 3-bladed for this aircraft. But I guess you can get more of these. Let's see, are you still in one piece? Yes, thank gosh. So that is the flight of the F4U-2. Now I did one flight with its stock transmitter, and I did one complete flight with one of these multi-protocol transmitters, just to prove that you can fly it. Again, thanks a lot for letting me know the switch positions and how to set that up, finally. So, hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out.
Hi, Quadcopter 101 here again. Hey, if you want to get your own shout out in one of my future videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's real simple. Just go to my channel page and click on that subscribe. And also make sure to click that bell button right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified when I release a brand new video immediately and give you a chance to get that first shout out. So give it a try, folks.